Good morning, students. Myself Nidhi Markade, and this is E class of PN Amarsi High School. I am your maths teacher for 9th standard. So, today we will start with very first chapter of mathematics, that is number systems. As students, already in previous classes, we have learned so much about number systems. It's like natural numbers, whole numbers, integers, even rational number also. So many things we have discussed earlier. First of all, we will start with natural numbers. So, what do you mean by natural number? The number system or the counting which started with 1 up to infinity is known as natural number, and it is denoted by n. Then the next comes whole number. Whole numbers, the number series which started with 0 up to infinity. Or you can say all the natural numbers including 0 is commonly called as whole numbers. Other than this, the third one we have learned, that is integer. What do you mean by integer? So integers are the collection of numbers with positive whole numbers and negative whole numbers. The examples are, you can say minus 25 will also be an integer, 0 will also be an integer, plus 5 will also be an integer. So integers included all the natural numbers, all the whole numbers, including all the negative numbers. And the last thing is that rational numbers. Rational numbers, we can say the numbers which are in the form of fractions, which are in the form of P upon Q, where Q should not be equal to 0. P upon Q format. Now, if I ask you that can you tell me 45 is a rational number? So you will think that no, 45 can't be a rational number because rational number should be in the form of P upon Q. But I will say yes, 45 is also a rational number because we can write 45 like 45 upon 1. So therefore, any natural number, any whole number or any integer can be written in the form of P upon Q. Okay, this is our basic topic. All these things we have learned in previous classes, and I would like to suggest some key points also. Many times I would like to, so dear students, some important key points regarding to the chapter number system. The very first key point is the numbers of the form P upon Q, where P and Q are integers and Q should not be equal to 0. This is the simple definition of rational number and it is denoted by Q. The second important key point is the rational number P upon Q is said to be in the simplest form if P and Q are integers having no common factor other than 1. For example, your P upon Q is in the form of 2 upon 3, 3 upon 5, 5 upon 7, such like that. These are prime numbers. On solving this, we obtained that these numbers are prime numbers and they cannot be cut other than 1. Sometimes we obtain rational numbers in the form of like 12 upon 3. On solving this, we get the simple whole number. So there are many forms on solving rational numbers. The third point is every rational number can be expressed as decimal. Yes, on solving rational numbers, sometimes we get the whole number as an answer, sometimes we get the decimal number as the answer. For example, 21 upon 5. 21 upon 5, on solving 21 upon 5, we get 4.2 around. And this is the terminating decimal. What is terminating decimal? On solving such kind of decimals, on solving such kind of rational numbers, we obtain the answer as a 4.2, 3.8, 7.85, etc., etc., and the remainder will be 0, 0. Hence, it is known as terminating decimal. And the last point of decimal number last point of rational number is a decimal in which a digit or a group of digits repeats periodically is called a recurring decimal, or you can say repeating decimal. Yes, sometimes P upon Q is in such a form that on solving it we get the answer 1.3333, or you can say 2.875. So such kind of examples are categorized in recurring decimal or terminating but repeating. You can say terminating but repeating. We will discuss it later on in exercise 1.3 and 1.4. Thank you. Hello students, myself Nidhi Markade, your maths teacher. In last video, we have just discussed the introduction of number system. That means natural numbers, whole numbers, integers and rational numbers. So including all, we can say what do you mean by the rational number in all finally. So the rational number is nothing but the collection of all the natural numbers, all the whole numbers, all the integers, but in form of P upon Q, where Q should not be equal to 0. Along with that, we have discussed some key points regarding to rational numbers. Now today, we have to start exercise 1.1. But before starting this exercise, I would like to share some important things regarding rational number with you. That is, similarly, just like your integers, you can also plot all kind of rational numbers on the number line. And similarly, we can very easily calculate 5, 10 or many more integers between two respective integers. Just like that, we can calculate infinitely many rational numbers between two distinct rational numbers. For example, I am asking that can you calculate 20 rational numbers between 1 upon 2 and minus 1 upon 2? So you will say how it is possible? It is not possible, but it is possible. We can calculate very easily. There are two methods to calculate such kind of rational numbers between two distinct rational numbers. Both the methods I will discuss here in exercise 1. One question I will do with either method and another question I will do with the next method. Both the methods are very easy, but the last year discussed method is quite easy to you all, and according to the number you can decide whether you want to go for the first method or second method. So in short, I can say between two rational numbers there are infinitely many rational numbers and you can calculate them. So question number 1, is 0 a rational number? Can you write it in the form of P upon Q? This is the question number 1 of your textbook, exercise 1.1. And according to me, the answer will be yes. 0 is also a rational number. Earlier we have discussed what do you mean by rational number. Rational number is a collection of all the positive, negative integers, all the whole numbers, all the natural numbers, and we know that whole numbers start with 0. Therefore 0 is also categorized in rational number. And you can write it in the form of P upon Q, like 0 upon 5, 0 upon 1, 0 upon 100, 0 upon minus 100, whatever you can write, because ultimately the answer will be 0. But 0 is a rational number according to the chapter, according to the equation. The question number 2, find 6 rational numbers between 3 and 4. Okay, here students, I have already told you there are two methods of solving rational numbers between two distinct rational numbers. So one method I will show you in the next question. But this year your book has introduced one more method regarding to this, and this is another good method, but it is quite lengthy. So the choice is yours in from which method you want to solve. According to this, d is equal to y minus x upon n plus 1. Now what is y and what is x? X and y are two numbers. For example, in our case, x and y should be equal to 3 and 4. But x and y you have to take like this, कि x should be less than y. Always. Always. Let you are taking 3 and 4 as x and y. So here 3 is less than 4. So you can write 4 minus 3 in your question. And what is n? N is the number of rational numbers that you have to find out. For example, in your question, find 6 rational numbers between 3 and 4. So n will be 6 here. So here, on applying the formula d is equal to y minus x upon n plus 1, where x should be less than y, and n is your number of rational numbers that you have to find. And you will get some of the rational numbers like this: x plus d, x plus 2d, x plus 3d up to infinity. So we are moving towards our answer. Here x is equal to 3 in our question, y is equal to 4 in our question, d is equal to y minus x upon n plus 1, which is equal to 4 minus 3 upon 6 plus 1, and we will get 1 upon 7. 4 minus 3 is 1 and 6 plus 1 is 7. We'll get the fraction 1 upon 7. And 6 rational numbers we have to find between 3 and 4. Therefore, according to x plus d, we'll have 3 plus 1 upon 7. The next number is x plus 2d. That is 3 plus 2 into 1 upon 7, or you can say 3 plus 2 upon 7. The next number is 3 plus 3 into 1 upon 7. That means x plus 3d. 3 plus 3 into 1 upon 7, or in shortly you can write 3 plus 3 upon 7. The next is 3 plus 4 upon 7, 3 plus 5 upon 7. The lastly 3 plus 6 upon 7. And when you will solve this, and you will get 22 upon 7, 23 upon 7 by taking their LCM. And I think I don't need to explain how we can calculate the LCM of the numbers. And if you have forget, then I will help you to solve 3 plus 1 upon 7. You just cross multiply both the numbers. 3 into 7, that is 21, plus 1 into 1, that is 21 plus 1, upon 1 into 7, that is 7. And you will get 22 upon 7. This is the simplest form of finding LCM of any two fractional numbers. Similarly, 3 plus 2 upon 7 will be calculated as 23 upon 7. 3 plus 3 upon 7 will be calculated as 24 upon 7. Then next is 25 upon 7, 26 upon 7 and 27 upon 7. So this question number 2, I have used the first method, and in the next question I will use the previous method that you have already learned in your previous classes, and it would be quite easy for you. So the question number 3 will be find 5 rational numbers between 3 upon 5 and 4 upon 5. This time they have already given in the fractional form. In first question they have given you the fractions, not the fractions, only the simple whole numbers, but you can change it into 3 upon 1, 4 upon 1. But here they have already given 3 upon 5 and 4 upon 5. And our previous method is very easy. For example, we have two fractions. The first fraction is 3 upon 5 and the second fraction is 4 upon 5. And you need to find 5 rational numbers between them. But as by observing these two numbers, we can say we don't have numbers between them. But we can make numbers between them up to infinity. Like you can multiply both the fractions by any of your choice. You can multiply both the fractions by 10 or by 20 or by 100, by 1000, by 500, whatever you like. How much big will be the number? You will get more and more and more rational numbers between them. So I am taking here multiplied by 10 only, because by multiplying 10 I will get 10 rational numbers between them, and these are more than sufficient for me. So 3 upon 5 multiplied by 10 upon 10. Yani ki that means we have taken multiply both the side. That see here, there is one more rule of the fraction. We have already learned in 7th and 8th standard that in fraction, if you are multiplying any number to the denominator only, it is wrong. If you are multiplying any number to the denominator, so then it is compulsory to multiply the same number to the numerator also. So I would like to write 3 upon 5 and multiplying both the numbers numerator and denominator by 10 and 10, and I will get 30 upon 50. Very simple answer. And similarly for the next fraction, 4 upon 5, I will multiply 10 upon 10 and I will get 40 upon 50. Now I have two rational numbers, that is 30 upon 50 and 40 upon 50. And I have to find out at least 5 rational numbers between them. And I have 9 rational numbers. So I can write any of them: 31 upon 50, 35, 34, 33, 36, 37. Any number I can choose and I will write the answer just like here I have written. Okay, dear student, last question of exercise 1.1 is true or false. Write true or false of the following and also give reasons for your answer. Okay, so the very first statement is every natural number is a whole number. Yes, according to me, it's a true statement, because what do you mean by natural number? Natural number includes the counting from 1 to infinity. And what they are asking, every natural number is a whole number, because whole number starts with 0 and up to infinity. That means all the natural numbers which are getting started from 1 to infinity are included in the bag of whole numbers. That's why this is the true statement. The second is every integer is a whole number. No, according to me, every integer cannot be a whole number, but every whole number can be. It's like you can say, for example, minus 20, minus 5, minus 10, minus 2. All these are integers, but in negative form. We know that integers are all the positive numbers, 0 and all the negative numbers on the number line. So, but the whole numbers are only categorized from 0 to infinity. Plus side, not minus side. So, every integer cannot be a whole number, but every whole number could be a integer. Okay, so this would be a false statement according to me. And the third one and last one is every rational number is a whole number. This is also a false statement, because rational number should be written in the form of P upon Q. So we can write in the previous section we have already discussed that what do you mean by rational number. Rational number is the collection of all the natural numbers, all the whole numbers and all the integers in one bag. But we can write, let's suppose we are having number 23. So this is a whole number, simple whole number, and we can write it in the form of 23 upon 1, and then it will be a rational number. But 1 upon 23 is not a whole number. It is only a rational number, because numbers in fraction form like this cannot be categorized in whole number. Whole number should be a whole only. So that's why according to me this would be a false statement. Okay students, we have completed exercise 1.1. In next video we will start exercise 1.2 and some other important key points regarding irrational numbers. Thank you.